Hello, one and all. It's your Dr. Stone, Chapter 168, Corn City, population 1 million, and I think Senku just abandoned like 80% of his team and left on a yacht. Yeah, that just happened, didn't it? Like I was theorizing back when this whole wild trip first started, that, they had to leave a few people behind at each city they found to, get things up and running while they moved on to the next place. I just didn't expect it to be as hostages. Oh, only Senku, only Senku. I mean, even Brody says, forming an alliance while waging war and building a new nation all at once, you've people got some screws loose. And yes, they absolutely do, but, the people Senku left behind, they seem okay with it. They recognize that Senku's gonna come back for them. They know that Senku's doing what's best, and they have faith in him. Though I do feel a little bad for Taiju and Yuzu, separated once again. Also, where the freak is Jinro? We see Kinro in this last shot, but yeah, still no idea whatever happened to Jinro. Not sure if he snuck aboard the yacht somehow, some way, or if he's off doing his own thing, but maybe he's in the bag that Katsuki brought with him. A lot of questions about that. So yeah, Senku separated his team once again, and I guess he's heading to South America? That seems like be the next logical place on the map, home of Super Alloy City, where he's going to get the metal he needs to build the rockets, and maybe something else too, because unless I'm mistaken, the petrification beam, the original one that started all this, it originated in South America. Could they find the lab, the base, whatever it was that started all this, and maybe find another Medusa? I'm not sure if it'd still be working after 2,000 years exposed to the elements, but could definitely at least be a clue as to what happened. And, Zeno's with them now, so maybe he has some idea as well. Like, oh, I know the guy who was running this base in South America. He was an old colleague of mine, always talking about how we needed to give the Earth a chance to regrow. Oh, I wonder if that's related to us being petrified. And of course, they also need to talk about, the Y-Man and his secret base on the moon. I mean, Zeno worked for NASA. If there's any secret moon base before the world was petrified, I kind of feel like he'd know about it, and he'd be able to inform Senku about who's up there, who's running it, what their goals were, anything like that. Anyway, start the chapter, we have Max running aboard the ship, and I just love, Maya, I guess that's her name, is like, oh, hi, Max, like, she's so friendly with him. And yet, she and the rest of them tied up Luna, so does Maya have a thing for Max? That could be a very, very strange plot twist, but maybe? Anyway, Max is super mad that Luna was tied up, and, I really gotta love this man's loyalty. A lot of people are speculating, oh, when Max finds out that Luna has a boyfriend, he's getting super jealous. Maybe he's gonna betray her. No. As soon as he found out, he's like, alright, I'm gonna betray this group of super soldiers who all have guns and are standing around me right now and go help you save your boyfriend. Great dude, Max. Great dude. So then they free Francois, and then they go to free Kasuki, but, not really necessary. All they need to do is explain to him what a tractor is, much to Luna's confusion. And then his clothes literally explode as he's flexing, much to Luna's confusion. That's, the Russian blood in him. And then he's somehow managed to gather up all of his tools while still naked and jumped off the boat. I so very many questions about that, but thankfully, in the next panel, he's wearing clothes again, and Luna and Max are like, oh, 2 guys fell off. We're going to go check on them, even though you think we're spies. And, we never come back, so you might have a lot of questions about that. And Stanley's, literally 10 feet behind us. Don't mind us. I'm really starting to question how well-trained this army of super soldiers really is. And then Senku meets up with Zeno and the rest of them somehow. Yeah, I have a lot of questions about that too, because, Senku is being held up at gunpoint by the fighter pilot. I assume Max, someone would go in and save him. I mean, Francois mentioned that he needed Kasuki to take apart the fallen airplane, so I assume they were going to him, but I guess not. So somehow Senku and Ryu managed to take out armed fighter pilots. Very curious about that. Maybe, she was wounded from the fall and she passed out or something. I'm not sure about that. And the reunion is sweet in a sense, Senku's like, because Dr. Zeno is a world-class science pro. He still acknowledges how scientific and brilliant he is, even though Zeno tried to kill him. And even though Zeno tried to kill him, he looks so overwhelmingly happy that Senku is alive. Like, dude, if you wanted him alive this badly, don't order your soldiers to kill him. It's that simple. And next page he looks kind of depressed and sad about that decision. But then when he's like, Senku, you escape with science. It's so elegant. He's happy again. And the next page, she's like, you've already lost. Ha ha ha. It's like, dude, are you bipolar or something? Your mood changes are literally giving me whiplash. Also, I find it interesting they had to go to the middle of a rocky outcropping to have their little talk back and forth. Like Senku had to gather water, yeah, but there was no need for that other than the fact that it looked cool. Also do love that Zeno refers to him as Dr. Senku. I mean, sure, he might not have a doctorate, but, in this new age, a doctor is just anyone who truly embraces the art of science. Anyway, then Francois, Luna, Max, and Koski meet up with everyone else, and oh my god, I freaking love Luna here. She looks like freaking Cerberus with 3 heads. Senku, you're safe! Wait, nope. We won't like it. I'm all blubbering and crying. I'm a cool operator. You need to act cool. Oh, Senku, you survived. I knew a little plane crash wasn't gonna kill you. And then we have Francois, instant hospitality mode, setting up a full tea service for them while they're being hunted down by super soldiers. And Carlos and Max reunite and have this weird fist bump thing. I have so many very questions about Carlos and Max. What is your past? How do you know each other? Why are you so loyal to Luna? I mean, they are tagging along with Senku on the next part of his journey, so hopefully, we get some sort of backstory to them eventually. And Luna as well. I mean, seriously, who's her father that was able to get her into med school despite her being a little touched in the head? Speaking of being touched in the head, she has this whole romantic thing about how Senku is going to be, oh, how I long to see you once more. Did you flee to be at my side? Job well done, Luna. And no, that is not what she gets. She gets basically as far as Senku's willing to go with someone, that arrogant smile as he says, job well done, and looks at her. I mean, it's something. It's something at least. And I know I did see some people online who were mad that we didn't see Kohaku being jealous of Luna. No. Kohaku is never going to be jealous of anyone. I mean, for one thing, she knows Senku well enough to know that he's not going to fall in love that easily, if he's even capable of falling in love. For a second, she's a whole confident, strong woman, all that. I do think it'd be fun to see Luna get jealous of Kohaku, because that's a very different situation, and one that would be a lot of fun to watch. Anyway, then they go steal Zeno's yacht. A lot smaller than the Perseus, but it looks way more advanced and scientific, and they can fit the mobile science lab on it, so that's basically everything they need right now. Also, the actual Perseus, not in a condition to go sailing anytime soon. I mean, the submarine blew off the front of it, and they had to cut off the mast in order to turn it into an aircraft carrier. So, I was definitely wondering exactly how they were going to repair it enough to sail it again. Hopefully, Zeno's team Brody will be on that, while Senku's off to South America, I guess. And thus begins the battle of diplomacy. I like that they basically agree that Brody is the only person they can negotiate with, but I'm rather confused about what Chrome says here. I don't understand English, of course, but while the others wanted to fight, the other guy prioritized digging us out to save our lives. Okay, you heard that through several feet of dirt? Also, you say you don't understand English, but you understood his meaning? Because isn't the language of Ishigami Village a mixture of English and Japanese? I've been told that in the past. So wouldn't it have made more sense if Chrome had said, I'm not fluent in English or something like that? I'm not sure. Very confused about that line. Anyway, then Senku proves that he is not a good negotiator as he instantly gives up their biggest bargaining chip right away. The secret to make the revival fluid. The secret is basically it's nitol. Just mix alcohol and nitric acid and you're done. And God, they are so surprised. I'm honestly not sure if Zeno is more surprised that Senku just told him that, or that the solution was so utterly simple and he never thought of it. I mean, Zeno's throne room and the radio room, whatever it is, there's jars and jars of liquid lining the walls. I've always suspected those were his various attempts to create his own vital fluid, something that would wake up everyone who's been petrified. And now he's realizing, oh my god, it was that simple. I am such an idiot. And then Senku gives them the orders to go build a city 1 million people strong, a massive corn city, which, alright, that works. So basically, Senku's people are hostages to make sure that Senku doesn't harm Dr. Zeno, and Dr. Zeno is a hostage to ensure that his people don't harm Senku's people. I guess that works, more or less. Of course, as Brody points out, there is the issue with Stanley. He's definitely going to chase down Senku, and I'm not sure if they can, repair the plane, fix it, or even if they do, can it fly far and fast enough to catch up with Senku after he's been on the water for days or possibly weeks? That's gonna be interesting. I feel like at some point down the road, Senku and the gang are being like this desperate situation, like, oh no, all hope is lost. We can't do anything. And then in the distance, you're gonna see a plane or a boat or a car, and Senku would be like, don't worry, we have the strongest soldier in the world on our side. Even though I kind of kidnapped his childhood friend and he tried to kill me once before. I could definitely see it happening. Could definitely see it happening. So yeah, Senku's team is left behind with a new flag that has a rocket made of corn. Love that. To help build a population 1 million strong, to help build a new corn city. Meanwhile, Senku's got Dr. Zeno, and I guess they're going to head towards South America to start a new city there to build super alloy somehow, some way. I mean, I can't imagine they have all that many supplies on the yachts. Sure, they have, Zeno and Senku and Chrome and everyone else, so whatever they need, they could probably build, but I still feel like the lack of resources is going to be a problem for them moving forward. So yeah, this is a very, very weird chapter and a very strange take on diplomacy, but I guess it worked for Senku. Now they're going to head off to South America. Hopefully we can learn a little bit more about Senku's new teammates, hostages, whatever they are. I definitely love some flashbacks to Carlos and Max giving some information on why exactly they're so loyal to Luna. I think we'd all like that. Zeno, maybe he's figured something out with Petrification, some person or being who was involved with it, and he'll be able to guide them to the lab where the whole Petrification thing first started. I'm very curious to see how he reacts to learning about the Y-Man and the base on the moon. Like I said, if there was something up there before this all began, Zeno, as a NASA scientist, should have known about it. If not, I feel like the moon base would have to have been built after Petrification happened, or it's an alien ship, someone from the future, Senku from the future, fourth-dimensional alien being, something like that. I'm really not sure. But please link all this down below. Do you think Zeno has any new information about the Petrification being that Senku doesn't have? Do you think Stanley's going to chase after them? Do they have a third plane, or will Stanley have to wait for Brody to fix one of the first two? Whatever happened to the fighter pilot that was holding a gun up to Senku and Ryu? Still curious about that. And just what's next for Senku and the gang? We'll link all this down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to the next video. And until then,
peace.